Hello everyone, welcome to Brainiac Tutors. Today I have a very special guest in the studio and we have a lot to learn today. So today we have somebody very special. I'm talking about one of our students who did excellently well in the last UTME exam. This particular person actually scored above 300 in JAMB. In fact, specifically, he scored 344 out of 400 marks in the UTME exam. So that means there are certain things, there are certain secrets he can actually share with everyone that wants to write JAMB this year. So if you are going to be writing UTME exam this coming year, or you have somebody that wants to sit for this exam, invite the person to join this video. You have a lot to learn, I can assure you. So today we'll be meeting our guest. Stay tuned, stay connected, stick around till the end of this video, and you will have a lot to learn that can also help you excel in the forthcoming UTME exam. Alright, so you are welcome. Congratulations once again, and we are so excited to have you in the studio today. So please, can you introduce yourself to our viewer at home?
My name is Ayinde Demola. I'm an undergraduate level student in Lagos State University. I'm studying electronics and computer engineering.
Okay.
Faculty of Engineering.
Wow, Faculty of Engineering. Great. Now, like I told you earlier, if you are writing the UTME exam, this coming JAMB exam, you need to stick around so that you can learn a lot from him. So we're going to be learning a lot from you. There are a lot of students on the other side, and they want to learn one or two things from you. What are subjects that maybe you liked the most? Is there any subject that you had maybe some weak points, or you were very good in all of the subjects before the exams?
Before my official preparation for JAMB, I was good in mathematics and physics. I didn't have more problem in those subjects. But chemistry was, during my secondary school days, chemistry was
a bit challenging. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And JAMB English, before my official preparation, I did some past questions in English, but I wasn't really getting my desired results.
Okay. So that means at some point you were not really at that level that you expect yourself.
Yes.
So you had to do certain things to get to that level, right?
Yes.
So you mentioned that chemistry was okay. So now as the interview continues, we will get to know how you were able to. What was your target? The minimum score that you were actually looking at the beginning when you started preparing for the exam? Was there any target that you had? Yes, talk to us about that.
I was aiming for 320.
Wow, okay.
I was aiming for 320 because I knew that I have to aim higher than what I wanted to get. I wanted to get above 300.
Okay.
But I aimed at 320 because I knew even if I want to fall below 320, I cannot fall too much below 320.
Wow, that's good. So one of the main things here is he had a target. He had a specific goal. And so that helped him to work towards it. You know, I've been telling you students that if you are studying and you don't have a specific goal, you don't have a target, then you will just be making an effort in futility. But when you have a specific goal, a target, then you can put in the required effort. You saw what he said. He said his target was even a bit higher. He raised his target higher than what he expected. So that if he doesn't, if he falls from that height, he will still land on the score at least somewhere around 300. That's a good one. So you also need to have a specific goal. All right, don't just study and say I just want to pass. If you say I just want to pass, 200 is pass. All right, there are even some institutions 180, they will tell you you passed. But if you want to aim for the top, are you with me? You must have a target. So one of the reasons students fail is because they study without having a specific goal, a specific target. So he had a target. He was aiming around 300, but he had a target of 320, and he was able to actually tell us the target. What was your score in the JAMB exam? And then help us break it down. What was your score for each subject in the JAMB exam?
My total score was 344.
Wow, 344, okay.
My score in physics was 94.
Wow, 94 in physics, okay.
Mathematics, 90.
90 in mathematics, okay.
83 in chemistry.
Wow.
And 77 in English.
77 in English. So 83 in chemistry. Now, the first question I asked, he told us that chemistry was a weak point for him, but he was still able to have 83 in chemistry. So that means there are certain things he did that helped him. Even though chemistry was a weak point for him, he was still able to do excellently well in chemistry. In fact, if he had scored 80 something in all of the subjects, that would still be above 300. 80 in 4 places, that is 320. So he would still have done above 300. So he was able to still do well in chemistry. So we are going to be listening to him to know exactly what were the things daily study routine like your time management, how many hours did you study for each day, so that someone out there that is looking at, oh, do I need to read maybe 1 hour a day, or just let us know, because I know that nothing good comes easy, all right, and I know that there is no shortcut to success. So please let them know how many hours you study to be able to achieve that height.
My daily routine
was
I divided my studying routine into two: daytime and night time.
Okay.
Sometimes I read in the daytime and do past questions in the night time.
Okay.
So during the day, I might read maybe for 2-3 hours in the day, and in the night I'll practice past questions, maybe 2 years at least. The least I did was 2 years in a day.
Every day.
Yes.
Wow. So on the average, that's about 5 to 6 hours,
Yes.
right? Every day.
Every day.
Wow. So he invested about 5 to 6 hours every day to be able to achieve that. So what that means is that there is actually no shortcut to success. So you watching out there, if you want to have a very high score, you want to score above 300 in JAMB, you must be ready to invest time. If by now you've not started reading, then that means you don't have a plan. All right, or maybe you are still doing 1 hour, you are still being forced to do 1 hour study. You can't. So there is always an extra mile you have to go if you are going to do well. 5 to 6 hours daily. Wow, that is that's that strategy, subject by subject. What were the strategies you followed that helped you to do well?
Yeah. The strategy that I would see that helped me was answering my past questions topically.
Wow, topical, okay.
I answered my past questions topic by topic first before doing the whole year.
Wow.
For example, in chemistry, in redox, let's take the topic redox reaction.
Okay.
I'll answer questions only on redox reaction.
Okay.
Before I'll answer a whole year on chemistry.
Wow.
That is, I can answer questions like from 2008 to 2024 only based on redox reaction. That is a lot of questions.
Okay.
So anywhere I see redox reaction question, I'll be sure to get it.
Wow.
Because I've answered similar questions.
Wow.
Maybe even that exact question.
Wow.
Somewhere.
Wow, great. You know, I was privileged to talk to him at some point while at the early stage. In fact, he said he saw one of my videos also, where I told students that the best way to use your past question at the early stage of your preparation is topically. Now, what do I mean by topically? Some of you, when you pick up your JAMB past questions and you begin to do it 1 year after the other, and you see that you didn't do well, maybe you scored 25 over 50 in a particular subject, or 15 over 40, you do it the first time, the second, the third. By the time you do it third, fourth time, and you are not doing well, it discourages you. You get discouraged. So the next time you even see the past question, you are not encouraged to study the past question. Why? Because you are not doing it the right way. And the reason why you are not getting it right, or you are not doing well, is because you have not covered all the topics in that past question. So the best way to use your past question that we encourage you is to do it topically. Meaning that if you have studied, let's say for example, redox reaction, you study redox reaction, answer all questions on redox reaction from each 1 year to another, like he did, maybe 10 years or more. Answer all the questions. Then you are very sure that any question that comes on that topic, you will be able to answer. And JAMB has already given a syllabus. You have topics you're supposed to study. All right. For example, in chemistry, there are certain topics, about 24 topics that you're supposed to study in chemistry. And those 24 topics, they still have subtopics. But if you go by that syllabus and then you take the first topic, you treat all questions after studying that topic, you will see that you master that topic. And I told the students last year, I told them that, see, if you want to score 300 in JAMB, it's not difficult. 300 is 75%. All right, if you can score 70, if you can cover 75% of the syllabus and you practice past questions on those topics, then you will fall somewhere around that 75%. 75 in 4 places, that is 300. That's how to score 300. So he did that, he followed that concept, he studied topically, took a topic, studied it, went to the past questions, practiced a lot of past questions on each topic, and he was able to cover a lot of topics from the syllabus. Did you study with the syllabus? Did you have a list of topics that you were supposed to read, or was there anything you did with the JAMB syllabus?
Yes, I made good use of the JAMB syllabus. That was what I followed.
Wow.
After reading intensively on those topics, I'll answer questions
on them. Oh, that's great. So you shared with us that the strategy you used, you studied topically, you studied, and then even those weak points in chemistry, you took those topics one after the other, and then you studied past questions. So that's a great one. What mistake do you think most students make using the past questions that you want them to stop making such mistakes so that they can get results from using the past questions?
The mistake I think most students make I made that mistake at the early stage of my studying.
Okay.
Because after I finish a particular past question, I know the ones I failed because I mark it myself. I know the ones I failed, and I'll just look through them, and maybe I'll say I've understood them, and I'll go. I'll close the book, or maybe I'll move to the next topic.
Okay.
And sometimes I come across those questions. Sometimes I get some of them, and so most of them I don't get them. I don't remember the options. Still look familiar because I've done them before. So I don't know which one is the particular answer. So after some time, I noticed that yes, there's a problem there. So after I finish a particular past question, I will seek the ones that I failed. I'll write them out. Know the topics.
Okay.
Read on those topics again. Understand why.
Okay.
And how those things are the answers.
Okay. Wow, that's great. Now that's great. So that means you took note of those questions that you didn't do quite well on, and then you went back to to research on them. Okay, so very good. So that means even the materials you use. Now there are some past questions. Let me let you know, students. I've seen one or two students that reached out to me after they saw one of my videos. They were asking for me to recommend some of those past questions to them. There are certain past questions that they have arranged the questions topically, and they also have solutions to those questions. So like he said, if you come across such questions, maybe after you've done 50 questions topically and you missed out some, you can refer to the solution and then try to see what did they do, how did they arrive at the answers. So while you are studying your textbook to get them right, like he said, you can also refer to the solution they did, right, to be able to know how next to tackle those questions, so that the next time you see those questions you wouldn't make such mistakes. So if you want to know such textbooks, I can actually recommend some of those past questions to you. If you check the description of this video, I'm going to drop a link on that description, so through that link you can get through to me. I will recommend some of those past questions to you. How was your revision like the few days to the exams? What kind of revision, what was the process of your revision, and then when you got into exam hall, how were you able to recall? Were there maybe acronyms that you used to easily remember certain concepts and all of that?
Yeah, I used acronyms.
Okay.
The use of acronyms
Helped you?
It helped me a lot.
Wow.
I used acronyms to remember some rules or laws or principles or guidelines.
Okay.
Like in English, there are some laws you follow to get the stress in every
Stress
word.
pattern.
Some guidelines. So I used some acronyms, though I don't remember them now, but I used there was a particular acronym I found myself. I used that one to get, and I knew that most of the stress I'll get there.
Wow.
And during the last days of preparation, I had a book which I just jot down most of what I remembered.
Wow.
I jot down most of them. The ones that I don't remember, I go back to the earlier
materials, textbooks.
The earlier materials, yeah, and I write them down.
Okay. So you did revision, you tried to go through your jotter, what you have jotted down. So one of the things that can help students is anytime you are reading a topic, you can have your jotter and then put down certain key points. You know, I used to tell students the strategy used in passing WAEC is different from what you use to pass JAMB, because those two exams, they have different, in fact, the mindset of the examiner differs. What the examiner is expecting from you if you're writing a theory exam like WAEC and NECO is totally different from what the examiner is asking for when you're writing JAMB. For the WAEC exam, you write theory, the examiner wants to know how much information you have, how much of information have you gathered concerning this topic. But in JAMB, that is not the idea, that is not the objective of the examiner. One of the objectives is how well do you pay attention to salient points, to details, some little details that other people overlook. How well do you pay attention to such details? Are you with me? And that is where you need to have a jotter and you pen down those key points. So, and then how well can you answer questions within a short period of time? That's another thing that JAMB looks out for. So there are so many smart students, brilliant students that are failing JAMB. Why? Because they didn't use the right strategy. Time management, zero. All right, you cannot use the same time management of WAEC for JAMB. It will not work. And that is why you need to also practice the CBT and get used to the timing. I used to tell students, you have about 2 hours for the JAMB exams and you have over 120 questions. You have 40 questions for 3 subjects, that is 120, and then you have 60 questions in English, that's about 180 questions. And 2 hours is just 120 minutes. So you have 180 questions in 120 minutes, meaning you have less than 1 minute for a question, right? So that means you need to time yourself. You need to know that you have less than a minute for a question. 40 seconds for a question, 30 to 40 seconds on a question, and you go to the next. And then don't spend too much time on any question. There are some questions in the JAMB exams, they are traps. They are just there to waste time. So the smart students will know how to identify those questions and skip. For every question you are not able to answer, there are 5-10 other questions you will be able to answer if you have studied well. So instead of wasting time on one question trying to prove a point to the examiner who doesn't really care about you, trying to prove a point that yes, you are good at this, why not move ahead, answer many other questions, and then you can come back to those questions you've not been able to answer. So those are certain tips that can help you do well in JAMB. So you have to be time conscious. You need to be aware that you do not have up to 1 minute for a question. Ever feel tired and maybe discouraged during the preparation? Was there any time you felt maybe you were tired or discouraged? Yes.
Yes, I felt tired at some point.
Okay.
But earlier I set a goal for myself,
Wow.
2020.
Wow.
And I knew that no matter what, I had to reach that goal.
Wow.
So that was my motivation.
Wow. That means tenacity, grit. You had that, you were tenacious, right? And everybody, the truth is that discouragement will come. In fact, if anybody tells you that studying is easy, it's a big lie. All right? Discouragement will come, you'll be discouraged, you'll be tired at some point, but that is what discipline is as well. What is discipline? Doing those things that needs to be done the way it should be done, whether you feel like doing it or not. Are you with me? With little or no supervision. So there are sometimes you don't feel like reading. There are sometimes you don't feel like doing it. You're tired. But because you have a goal, you have a target, and that is why it's very risky to start preparing for this JAMB exam without having a goal. Your goal has to be smart. You need to have a smart goal. Specific, that is S. Measurable. Are you with me? It must be measurable, it must be achievable, it must be realistic, and it must be time bound. Now when you have a smart goal like that, that goal will be a propelling force when you are getting tired. You saw what he said. He said at some point he was getting discouraged, getting tired, but because he had a goal, 320, and he knew that it's not going to be easy, a walk in the park. He knew that he has to study hard to achieve that, and that goal kept him going even when he felt discouraged. So maybe you are seeing this video and you are getting discouraged. Come on, you are not alone. Okay, other students also felt discouraged at some point, but they kept pressing. Okay, so keep pushing. Come on, you can do it. Right? See, can you tell us, did you practice mock exams and CBT, maybe the CBT platforms before the exam?
I practiced lots of CBT exams.
Okay.
Mock exam, I did mock exams.
Okay.
And I scored high
In those mock
in
exams.
those mock exams before, because I've been doing mock exams earlier. As at this time last year,
Okay.
I've started mock exams.
Wow.
So the earlier you start,
The better.
the better.
Yeah, thank you. That's a very, very fantastic point. See, the earlier you start, the better. The best time to start is now. That's if you have not started. The best time is few months ago. All right. The second best time is now. Are you with me? So if you have not started months before now, then now is the best time to start. Avoid procrastination. Don't say I will start tomorrow, I start next month, I still have 3 months, I still have 4 months. My dear, you better start now, because very soon you just discover you have just 3 weeks to the exam. And the reason why a lot of students, they will now say, I don't even know where to start from, is because they didn't start at the right time. They procrastinated, and then when they now got to the end of when the time was almost up close to the exams, that was when they awoke and their mates were far gone. So please, you need to start learning, and so you need to start preparing yourself. The exam day itself, exam strategy, what were the things you did on the exam day? What preparations did you maybe try to locate your venue before the date of the exam, or what were the things you did?
Yeah. Before the particular day of my exam, I went to locate the place.
Okay,
and
okay, the venue.
I went to locate the venue. I knew, okay, this is where I'll stand. This is where I'll stand and maybe study.
Okay, before the exam.
The exam, yeah.
Okay.
Because my exam was around 11 or 12, so I came there earlier.
Wow, that's another strategy.
And I just glanced through my book, remember those rules, those principles.
Wow.
Yeah, so those are what I do.
So that means you need to get to know the venue of your exams days before the exam. I've seen students that it's the day of the JAMB exam, they will just be trying to locate the venue. That is wrong. Some of them will get there and they got there at the wrong time. In fact, last year there was a student that actually he went to the exam on a wrong date. His paper had held before the date of his exam. He got there, they told him that your paper was last. He printed out, he didn't check the date of the exam. He said, my friends told me that it's this particular day. You didn't check it yourself. And then he went there and it was all over. The only saving grace he had was that later on, JAMB, because of the issues they had, they called people back for exams and he was fortunate to write the exam. So please, you have to prepare ahead, get to know your venue, know the dates. Don't allow somebody do it for you, do it yourself. Locate the venue, know the dates, the time, and then get to the venue hours before the exam. Right? If your exam is going to be by 9 o'clock, be there by 7, and you can sit down and you can study so that you won't be under pressure trying to locate the venue. Final advice do you have for students that are preparing for this coming JAMB exam? Are there certain things you would like to share with them and take home for them that they can run with?
Regarding preparation,
okay,
the first one is the earlier you prepare, the better.
Okay, the earlier the better.
Prepare, right? The more time you have to study your topics,
okay,
and the more time you have to cover more past questions.
Okay.
And your materials. That is the more time you have.
Okay.
Finish up your materials.
All right.
And for people that are not that good,
okay,
I would recommend you go to JAMB lessons.
Okay.
JAMB lessons.
Okay.
YouTube videos. There are helpful YouTube videos out there to help you understand concepts.
Wow.
And the third one is be prayerful.
Wow. Be prayerful.
Be prayerful.
Okay.
Always don't give up.
Okay. So be prayerful. Okay, so you mentioned go to tutorial classes, check on YouTube videos. I want to ask you, you were one of our students online, right? And then you attended some of the classes online. Did you check on some of our YouTube videos? Were they helpful to you at all?
Yes, the videos were helpful.
Wow.
The one that allowed me to study topically.
Okay.
Is that idea, it was from one of the videos that I watched.
Wow, on our channel, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's great. So for you watching out there, you can also learn a lot from all of the things he has said. All right, and if you apply them, I can assure you, you will also do well. And by this time next year, you also will be the one to be interviewed, and everyone will be here to actually learn from you. So, Engineer Demola, thank you very much for this privilege. Thank you for coming around, and I wish you all the best. I wish you all the best. So, on a closing note, he mentioned the place of prayer. That is very, very important. Okay, practice. Study as if you are not praying, and also pray as if you are not studying. The two has to go hand in hand. because it is the grace of God that can actually help you. So if you have done your part, and then God can also do his part, and that is why prayer is very important. So thank you very much, Engineer Demola. I wish you all the best in your journey, your sojourn at the Lagos State University. All right, and I believe if we still call you some other time, you will grant us the opportunity to hear from you again, right? All right, thank you very much. So that brings us to the end of this interview segment. If you have a question, I know you have one or two questions you want to ask him, or maybe you might even want to have one-on-one interaction with him. On our platform, we have some of our students that did well. You can have access to them on our platform. Yes, on our online classes, we have some of them there. They will be there to interact with you, to give you advice, to give you tips that can help you. And most importantly, I want to invite you to be part of our online classes. And we also have our physical classes at Brainiac Tutors. So if you cannot come to our physical venue, you can join our online classes, and you have a lot to learn from there. There are a lot of excellent tutors there, and we'll give you materials, we'll give you textbooks, we'll give you past questions that will help you achieve your goal, and we will break it down. We have a blueprint, okay, that can help you achieve your goal, that can help you score above 300 in the exam. I have broken it down. I would take you through that blueprint, and if you work towards it, you will do well in your exams. And please remember to share this video. Remember to share this video with your friends. Everybody that is preparing for the JAMB exam, make sure they see this video so that they can also learn. All right, like this video, drop your questions at the comment section, place a comment there, and do not forget to subscribe. If you have not subscribed to our channel, Brainiac Tutors, make sure you subscribe to our channel. And there are several videos on your subjects in your JAMB exams, like mathematics, chemistry, physics, biology. We have videos that will put you through those seemingly hard topics. All right, so I say thank you very much for being a part of today's interview, today's class. See you in the next video. Bye for now.